Hello everyone, this is PK Entertainment and we are back again, and we're now going to talk about Star Trek Discovery Season 3 and the recent teaser trailer or extended look that recently surfaced online. So there may be spoilers in this video here, so I advise you now, if you haven't watched either Season 1 or Season 2 of the show, I advise you to stop watching this video now, go away, catch up with the series and then come back and watch this video. So Season 3 is due to return on CBS All Access on October the 15th 2020, and it will run for the usual quota of 13 episodes, due to end around January the 7th 2021. So just quickly, just to recap, we will begin where we left off in Season 2, where essentially the Discovery crew had to travel to a future timeline because they had the space data which was being hunted down by the dangerous artificial intelligence known as Control. So in order to safeguard the space data and make sure that Control couldn't assimilate it, they had to go into a future timeline. Now, there were major issues, I think, overall with Season 2, in particular the season finale, where a lot of things were very confusing or contradicting. And ultimately one of these ones was the fact that as the Discovery crew were going into the future timeline led by Michael Burnham in the Red Angel suit, the actual AI of Control had actually been destroyed. If you remember, there was that scene, I think it involved Georgia, where she was fighting off the Control and she managed to destroy it. And I've always queried why she couldn't manage to tell the Discovery crew that she had managed to destroy the Control AI, making it not needed for them to go forward into the future. So that was always one burning question I've always had within that finale, amongst several other issues that many other fans have had within the show. But that's really the last point that we were left off with within Season 2. So if we go forward and if we look at many other clips that we've seen previously of teaser trailers and promos, we've seen now where the Discovery crew are really landing on a kind of what it looks very much like a barren dystopian landscape. If you remember, we got a visualization of that early on in the episodes of Season 2 when it was Michael Burnham's mother who we first saw in the Red Angel suit, when we got the explanation of where the suit came from and how she was coming from the future and she was going back in the past trying to change the reality. So that's what we've seen, where we've seen multiple scenes of the crew reuniting together. We've seen Michael Burnham crashing down in the suit, scanning forward for any life forms, and then later on we see her where she's got a new hairstyle. She comes across the new character played by David Ayala, who, if you remember, played Manchester Black from Supergirl Season 4, and we see just various other scenes of the crew coming together, the likes of Saru and Stannis and Tilly as well, just all coming together, reuniting. And it looks like we're going to get some sort of storyline where the Discovery crew are going to set about rebuilding or restarting a new civilization within this barren dystopian world. So recently there was an extended clip, less of a trailer really, but more, like I said, of a first look, which very much looks like the first opening, I guess, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the show, where we see David Ayala's character and he's controlling the ship with a weird design on here where his fingertips are kind of glowing to the control deck. It's a bit weird how they design it that way, but the general idea is that he's seemingly stolen the ship and the person pursuing him, this alien on screen. So we get this really hectic, frantic chase where we see a lot of the spaceships and it looks like they're in some sort of asteroid field, and we get the typical sound effects that we know to associate with the show and very much of the Trek movies, the lens flare, pew pew noises and the huge kind of machine grinding noises. We get a really frantic space chase, and then his ship discovers a space-time anomaly, and then that's when we see Michael Burnham coming through with the Red Angel suit. So This again is going to pick up from where we left off in season 2, where they've broken through into the future timeline, and then we see Michael Burnham trying to wrestle control of the suit, and everything's really hectic, shaky cam everywhere, and she's kind of spinning out all over the place, and she looks like she's going to crash land, and then she manages to gain control of the suit right at the last second, and then that's when she's kind of scanning forward for any life forms in the future as well. So nothing too revealing in terms of this teaser clip that we saw on here, so it really is just more of a sneak peek of what we're going to get for season 3. If you go online, you can look at previous trailers and promos and what I've described before. So what did I think of it? Well, I thought it was okay. I don't think it's the best way to appease anyone who was very critical of the Star Trek Discovery show. You know, we can make multiple videos. If you go online, you'll see many fans of Star Trek will argue many times about how the show goes against the very tone and the essence and the spirit of Star Trek, how the fact that, because as we all know, Star Trek Discovery was a prequel story, so they feel that it's messed around a lot with the established canon and the mythology of the Star Trek series. So I think this was really what determines the fact that they were going to take the story into a future timeline, because of course if you're in a future timeline, you can do what you like, you can introduce new characters, set about a new continuity without worrying about messing up any previously established canon, and then you don't have to risk as such upsetting the original fan base. So that's what I think was the primary decision behind this future timeline. So yeah, it was a bit of a messy sequence, if I'm being brutally honest with you. Again, like I said, you've got all the typical shaky cam and the lens flare everywhere, very reminiscent of the previous show. So it looks like season 3 is very much going to be the same tone as what we had for the first 2 seasons, but it still very much is coming across as very much of that blockbuster action orientated feel to it. Now certain elements of that can work, and I did enjoy Star Trek Discovery more so, I would say, season 1. I didn't mind season 2, but as the story progressed on more and it took the focus away from Spock and focused more on the Red Angel storyline, and then it started to delve into time travel, everything became more and more confusing, and then the whole logic concerning the control AI and how they destroyed it, you know, everything just came a bit overly convoluted, along with the hectic epic action spectacle. Again, it just really took you away from the compelling storyline that it was trying to build in the long run. So we'll wait and see. I'm still infused about what they do with season 3. As I said, I think the most interesting element is the fact now they're in this new continuity, so they are really free to do what they want. They're not burdened anymore by what previously went on in the previous shows or the previous movies now. So this is, many ways, even though it's a season 3, it's kind of really a season 1 again. It's a new beginning for the show, so hopefully they can maximize this opportunity. And I don't mind having a big budget spectacle, and you can't deny that the special effects and the visuals for the show look on point. It is one of the most expensive television series out there, so there's no problem with that. But I just hope we get much more of a coherent storyline and delve more really into the supporting cast. You know, we've had very much focus on Michael Burnham, of course, and Saru and Georgiou as well, but hopefully now we can focus much more on the other characters within the crew and just give it much more of an ensemble feel to it, and at the same time give us a compelling storyline and really give us more new and fresh elements, new ideas, new continuity, new characters, new species, new cultures, new technology. You know, that's another advantage of this future timeline now, is because all the high-tech kind of spaceships and weaponry that seemed way advanced, too advanced for a story that took place before the original series, now it's a lot more plausible now, because then we're now in a future timeline. So they've got a real opportunity here to really be more expansive and more adventurous with the storylines in the future. So we will wait and see how well they do on here. So hopefully now they can build on a story and do what they can to get the original fan base more on side with the show, because at the very least it's been very divisive, and that's putting it very lightly within this show so far. So those are my thoughts on the recently extended clip of Star Trek Discovery Season 3. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I will of course try to provide you with a season premiere review of when it drops next week. And I won't do every single episode because I don't do that with every show, but whenever there's particularly a standout episode, I'll review it, and of course I will always review the season finale as well. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you more excited for Star Trek Discovery? Are you less excited for the show? Do you think this should be the last one, or are you willing to give it another shot if you were disappointed with the previous 2 seasons and you can still see room for potential and improvement in this 3rd season? So that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, stay at safe distances, and I will see you very, very soon.